everyone, I'm Michelle with Designs by JuJu, and in today's video tutorial, I'm going to be stitching the In the Hoop Nutcracker Stocking set. This project coordinates perfectly with our brand new Nutcracker tree skirt that just released this year. These stockings are available in 8 sizes. In today's tutorial, I will be stitching the 6x10 size. The best thing about this project is it is made completely in the hoop in one hooping. Let's head over to the embroidery machine and get started. For the In the Hoop Nutcracker stocking, you will need the following supplies. Fabric cut according to the supply list listed within your PDF. I did go ahead and fuse SF101 to my main background fabric. No show mesh cutaway stabilizer. I already have mine loaded into my 6x10 hoop, which is the size of stocking we will be stitching in today's tutorial. Batting, scissors, and embroidery thread. I prefer Floriani for all of my embroidery work. Let's head over to the embroidery machine and let's get stitching. We are over at my embroidery machine and we're ready to go ahead and run the first stitch, which is going to be the placement line for my batting. As I stated earlier, I am stitching the 6x10 Nutcracker stocking, and I'm actually going to be stitching the ballerina design. Next, I'm going to place my batting directly on top of those placement stitches, and I'm going to run the tack down line to secure the batting in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine, and I'm going to trim away the excess batting right along these tack down stitches, making sure not to trim any of them. Now that I have the excess batting trimmed away, I'm ready to run the placement stitches for my background fabric. Once the placement stitches are complete, I'm ready to place my background fabric directly on top of those placement stitches, making sure that all of the sides and stitches are completely covered. You'll want about 1/4 to 1/2 inch excess overlap at the top here. We're going to trim away some of that excess here in a bit. And this is my fabric that I do have my SF101 fused to. All right, so I'm going to smooth out this fabric and I'm going to run the tack down stitches to secure this background fabric in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop and trim away just a bit of this excess fabric along the top. As you can see, I just trimmed that fabric at an angle here and right along those tack down stitches. Next, I'm going to run the next stitch, which is going to be the placement line for my top stocking fabric. Now that I have my placement line for my first fabric, it's right here just underneath the top of this tack down stitch for the background fabric. I'm ready to go ahead and place my top stocking fabric, whatever I've chosen, and I'm going to place it right side facing down, just above and parallel to that placement stitch, like so. If you are using a directional print, you will want to be aware of that, because when this stitches, it's going to stitch the tack down and then we're going to flip it up. So if this has any type of a direction that needs to be facing up, you'll want to make sure that when you place it on your machine on top of your background fabric here, that your design is facing down. So for example, I stitched this Nutcracker stocking earlier, and my tree fabric here is directional. It needs to face up, so I actually positioned this fabric face down with the trees pointing down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run the tack down stitch to secure this top fabric in place, and then we're going to flip it and stitch it again. Next, I am going to take this fabric and I'm going to flip it up like so. And as you can see, it is stitched and secured. I'm going to give that a good press. And now I'm going to run the tack down that's going to secure the top fabric around the top. We call this the flip and stitch method. During that stitch, my machine also ran a couple other important stitches that I wanted to point out. We don't need them yet, but we will need them soon. So as you can see here, we have these 2 little tabbed pieces off to the side. We've got one here, and we've got one over here. This will be where we'll line up our backing fabric here in just a little bit. So I'm going to put my hoop back onto my machine. And the next stitches are all decorative elements. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the ballerina and her decorative elements off camera, and then we'll check back in when we're ready for the next step. Once all of your decorative stitching is complete, we're ready to finish assembling our stocking. If you would like to add a name, now is the time that you would do that. You want to add your name before you stitch your lining pieces. So you could either add your name using Embrilliance software, or you could use a built-in font on your machine, but this is the time that you would do that step. I'm going to go ahead and stitch the next step, which is going to be the placement line for my stocking hoop. All right, as you can see, it's just stitched the placement line for my little ribbon here. And here is that top intersection line. I do not want to go past that. That line is going to be very important here in just a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my ribbon over that placement line. And again, I'm going to make sure I do not go past that top line. Now that I have my ribbon looping taped down, I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure this ribbon in place. Now that my ribbon is tacked down, I'm ready to move on to the next step, which is going to add my first liner fabric as well as my background fabric. So there are two options you can do for this step. I have went ahead and stitched together two pieces of fabric. And again, refer to the cut chart for the sizes that you need, but I just stitched them right sides together with a little 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this fabric here is going to be my back of my stocking, and this fabric here is going to be the liner fabric. You can also just have one long piece of fabric if you want your liner and the back of your stocking to match, but I wanted two separate fabrics, so I did this method here where I stitched it together and gave it a good press. Another thing to mention, if you decide to use a long piece of fabric, if it is a directional fabric, you'll want to be aware of that because either the back of your stocking or the inside of your liner is not going to face the right way when you fold that fabric. So just be aware of that. That's why I selected two separate fabrics, but you can choose to do this in any way that you like. So I am going to line up this seam here right below these two little stitches that we stitched earlier. So if you remember when it did the tack down stitch for this top fabric, it also did these little side stitches, and those were super important because that is where we are going to line up our fabric. Whatever fabric you are using for the back of the stocking, so I'm using this pink and red fabric, needs to be face down. So I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to line up this top seam just directly below those little stitches, like so. We do not want to go up to this top outermost tack down stitch because here in a little bit when we stitch our final liner piece, if you have fabric above this stitch, when you trim, you're not going to have an opening within your stocking. So you need to leave this fabric below those two little stitches right here. It just needs to sit basically on it or right below it. All right, so now I'm going to take this back over to my embroidery machine and I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure my backing and liner fabric in place. The final step for our stitching is to place our liner fabric right side facing down. And if you remember, this is our second piece of liner fabric. So I'm just going to place it over the entire stocking and I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure that fabric in place. And my stocking is completed stitching. Let's head over to the work table to finish our stocking. We're over here at my work table and we're ready to go ahead and unhoop our stocking. And the first thing I'm going to do is trim away the excess fabric and stabilizer. On that final stitch we just did, you can see that it left an opening right here along the bottom of the stocking. So what I like to do is I like to trim away this excess fabric, but right here along this opening, I like to cut it at an angle. That way when I close my opening, I have plenty of fabric, like so. Then I'm going to trim away all the excess fabric, leaving about a 1/4 inch allowance around the entire stocking. So I've just trimmed away the excess fabric and I also cut my corners here at an angle. Now I don't need all of this fabric along the bottom. So the first thing I like to do is I like to find my opening. So here is my opening, as you can see. And I like to take these 2 pieces of fabric and I fold them out of the way. We don't need the rest of this fabric and stabilizer, so I'm just going to trim that off like so. And then I'm going to leave about 1 inch extra there. So now my stocking is ready. So I'm going to use my turning tool here and I am going to flip this stocking through the opening along the bottom. Next, I'm going to close the opening along the bottom of my stocking. I like to use this peel and stick fabric fuse from Heat and Bond Light, but you can hand stitch it or you can stitch it on a sewing machine if you prefer. But I'm just going to tuck those 2 pieces in and I'm going to close the opening. Okay, once your opening is closed, now it is time to flip the stocking through the top. And that's it. My stocking is complete. And I have all 3 designs here to show you. So you get a Christmas tree, a ballerina, and a nutcracker all included with your purchase. You just saw me stitch this in the hoop nutcracker stocking on camera, and oh my goodness, it turned out adorable. Not only does your design set include the ballerina, but it also includes the Christmas tree and the nutcracker. Again, this project is available in 8 sizes and is made in 1 hooping. On camera, you saw me stitch the designs as well as add a flip and stitch border detailing at the top. We also added a stocking loop. I also told you where and how easy it would be to add names to your stocking if you want to customize them even further. These are such a quick and easy project, especially for this holiday season. I absolutely love this 6x10 size because it would be perfect for a gift card and some little holiday trinkets. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget to check the description box below for additional helpful links. Also, make sure to join the Designs by JuJu Blessings Facebook group for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. We hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy stitching!